In this clip, you'll get to see how the SVG Import tool is working. Okay, so let's go again in the Create menu and then click on SVG. You should now have a new mesh in your outliner called SVG Mesh, and in your viewer, this kind of weird sign. So the SVG mesh need to be selected, of course, and you want to go to the SVG1 tab. Now, this tool is made to import vector files. You can either import a SVG file through that guy, just click here on Imports and look for your SVG file here. But I think that the most powerful feature of this tool is to be able to pass the vector path from another software directly into Maya. For instance here, I open the SVG file coming with this course in Illustrator. If you want to follow along, you'll find this file in the asset folder called floral.svg. Now, in Illustrator, I can simply select my vector path, do Ctrl+C on the Windows or Command+C on the Mac, and then switch to Maya, and here, click on Paths. And voila! Your vector path is now in Maya and extruded. So let's tweak it a little bit. First, let's move a little bit that guy to be comfortable to work with. So we'll select the geo in the viewer. It's probably already the case, but just to be sure. And then hit W to access the transform tool. And I will move my SVG mesh on the side. Now I will hit F to frame the camera on my current selection. Great. Let's have a look to the different attributes. As you can see, the tabs here looks like the type tool we saw in the previous module. Here, you can adjust the size of the object. Here, you can adjust the offset and the size of the extrude of each one of the separated paths you imported. Just select one here and tweak these two parameters. If you plan on working like that, I highly encourage you to go back in Illustrator and rename your paths to be able to identify them properly. For example, in Illustrator, I will rename that path Leaf1. Copy again my SVG object, Command-C, Ctrl-C, and pass it here. Now, on the list of my paths here, I will find my Leaf1 and be able to adjust it separately. You can revert all changes made by clicking here. And if you want to offset everything at once, you can use this controller here. Pretty cool, no? I'm sure you're already thinking of the many cool stuffs you could do with that. Now, the other tabs are the same as the polygon type tool, so I won't cover them again. If you need details about them, please watch the previous clip. But let's go inside the Geometry tab and adjust a couple of things. First here, for the style, I want to get rid of the caps. The problem here is that sometimes Maya doesn't know how to deal with curves which are enclosed. So it will draw some weird caps. For example here, it's in my case. But I don't need these caps here, so I will simply remove them by checking this box. Also, when importing a SVG file, Maya copy as well the color of the path and assign that color to each vertex. That could be useful, of course, but it could as well create issues with the shading down the line. And depending on the tools you are using, it can be interpreted as an influence map. And some tool like Mesh won't work properly with it. So I will uncheck the output vertex color box. Now, the only last thing I'd like to do here is to add one or two extra divisions to my extrusion, just to give extra faces to build when we will animate it with a mesh network in the next module. Okay, this is it for the SVG tool. So we will keep going with the layout of these shots in the next clip. So see you there.